Hey guys, thanks for joining me. And if you like what you see, please subscribe.
Hello, peoples. Welcome to the Sharp Ends. Thanks so much for joining me today. This is really crazy. This is from Wurkkos. I don't know how you pronounce that. Wurkkous for workers. Can you look at this right here? 4,000 lumens. Throws over 200 meters, it says. But this is a headlamp. So, you know, most headlamps are less than 1,000. They're somewhere around 400, 500, something like that. 4,000 lumens is absolutely insane. Now, I haven't opened or looked at this yet, but oof, I could already tell by the package it was big. This is a big honking guy. Wow, look at the size of that LED in there. Before we get into this, though, could you go ahead and smash that like button? Leave a comment, really helps the channel. And as always, thank you to my Patreon supporters. We're talking about 3.5 inches almost, and inch and a half. And this feels like it's a good pound. This is like a pound and a half. I'm not going to go get my scale right now because I'm lazy and it's all the way upstairs. But it's definitely heavy. It's going to be rechargeable here, USB-C, which I like to see. And then, of course, it's got this... okay, so, you know, this headset, this headlamp is so big that it has one of those top straps as well. So it's not only side to side, it's got a crown here for you too. And it's going to sit in here. You can see how it's supposed to operate. I'm going to open this up. Yeah, and a tab fell out. So if I had tried to turn that on before now, it wouldn't have worked. 5,000 milliamp battery. Wow. Okay. And I'm going to assume that underneath the other cap is where... Oh, no. Okay. So here is the USB-C connector inside of a water-resistant tab. And then, so if you don't know how this works with me, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to pause the video. I'm going to look at all the directions, and then I'm going to tell you what those things do. So, all right, and we're back. That was actually really super intuitive. The light, when you turn it on, will blink, and well, it'll be solid green if it's really full, and blink if it's between 50 and 75%, and then solid red if it's between 25 and 50% battery, and then blink if it's less than 25%. But very, very easy. It's got a power button and a mode button, and it remembers the last thing that you had on, which is always great. It has a flood lamp, it has a red lamp, and it has a spot lamp. The spot lamp is supposed to be 15 degrees, which is pretty good, pretty narrow, and 76 degrees for the flood. And then the red light is just a flood. All of them have different modes. So if I hold this down when I'm in red, and it'll cycle through the different brightnesses. And then when it's, and then if you really need it bright, you can double click mode, and it will do turbo on all 3 lamps, which is pretty cool. Usually, so I just cycled over to white, and that's the bright white. And now I can cycle through the different ones, and then I can do the full 4,000 lumens, which is damn bright, blinding almost. It also has a heat sensor, so once it gets over 60 Celsius, it says, which is pretty darn hot, it will automatically cycle down to keep it from overheating. The flood lamp does look pretty darn good. You just basically you single click on, and then you click the mode button to go over to the next lamp. And then if you were to power off at that point, the next time I turn it on, it will remember the setting that I went to and the brightness I went to as well. That's about it. Super simple, very heavy. There's advantages and disadvantages to this. If I was through hiking somewhere and I really wanted and I was taking one light, this might be it, because then I would be able to use this as a standard flashlight and hold it. It has such a big battery that it would last forever. It has a red lamp, which I absolutely love. Aesthetically, it is actually kind of pleasing the way it's put together. It looks very rugged. I don't know if it is rugged, but it looks very rugged. And let's see if this is magnetic as well, just out of curiosity. It didn't say that it is, but you know, most lights these days are magnetic. So let's just check. Yeah, it does have a magnetic side on it. The non-screw off side is a magnet, which is great. So you can place this other places. It being so heavy, I wonder how well that magnet does on an incline, but you know, that's nice to have. And then of course it will go in here, and the way that you're going to adjust the height is just, you're just going to twist it once it's on there. I'm not going to do it right now. Overall, and the price for this, that is a very good question. Hopefully that flashed up at the beginning of the video. So I'm not 100% sure if it's worth it or not. I'll just double check. All right, $37. You know, I was going to guess $40, but I don't want to sound like an idiot if I was totally wrong. So, you know, basically just under $40, that is the range that you would expect for something like this, for about, you know, yeah. That's about the range that you would expect. Very fair price in my estimation if it shakes out for a long-term review. So this wasn't a review. This was an unboxing and first impressions. I will keep this around with me. I will take it camping a few times, and if it warrants it, I will go. And I'm impressed enough, I will go ahead and do a long-term review. I'm really curious to see if the weight of this really bothers me. Now, in general, the way that I use a headlamp when I'm camping is I wear it around my neck. And you know, before the sun goes down, I put the headlamp around my neck. I go and do the sun goes down, I'm making a fire, I'm having a fire, and then by the time it's dark, like, I put it on, but I'm not usually wearing it on my head unless I'm cooking or doing something like that. In general, I'm just wearing it around my neck, kind of lighting up the area down by my feet with a red light so that I can walk around and do things. That's usually how I'm using it. So with this being so heavy and big, this seems like the perfect light to go fishing with, because I could probably flood the area with light and get some fish attracted to me, if that makes sense, to the bait and whatnot. I don't do much of night fishing though, but with this light, maybe I'll give it a try. What other applications? So if I'm going to be hiking at night, this would be probably pretty awesome because I'll be able to see far away. Things like that. This would also be with 4,000 lumens, and you know, it rated for 200 meters, which, you know, that probably will light up 200 meters if you've got a really clear background. Taking this into the backyard and being able to look at the back acreage with this and seeing what's walking through my woods, that would also be very useful. I have other lights for that, like this, which I just reviewed, which is the Wurkkos L3, which is 3,000 lumens, but this is 4,000 lumens. I'm kind of curious about comparing the different diodes and seeing how they compare to each other. So yeah. All right, thank you so much for joining me. As always, please like, subscribe, leave a comment, turn on notifications, and thank you to my Patreon supporters. If you want to get a chance to win a knife of the month, all you gotta do is follow that link down below, and for $3 a month you might win a knife of the month. Thanks so much, guys, and I'll see you guys next time on Sharp Ends. Bye bye now. Let's see, and I'm gonna click over to red mode. Oh, I didn't even tell you guys that it has a, and I'm gonna do this right here.